Hey, it's Karen Beach of the 21st Century Christian. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, you can always get the podcast on this channel, but I'm going to start doing some other stuff too. Some stuff that hopefully will give you some value, like today's lesson, finding a version Oops. Finding a version of the Bible that speaks to you. And I have my phone out because the first thing I'm going to suggest is that you download the version of the Bible app, YouVersion. And the reason I'm going to advocate for that, there's a lot of reasons, but once you download it, you will have access to a gajillion versions of the Bible. I don't know how many are there. That's why I'm saying a gajillion. Basically, it's a lot. Um, you need to be reading the Bible once you have accepted Jesus into your heart. And you need to read that Bible because you can get familiar with Jesus' story, and Jesus is God. You want to know God. You want to know who he is, what he's like, what he's promised, what we can expect from him, what he wants from us. So go to download the version of the Bible. There are tons of Bible apps, but YouVersion has all of the versions that you want because you're going to want a version that you can read. I'm going to suggest to you that you start reading at least one chapter a day. Now, there's 66 books in the Bible. There's lots of chapters. Most of them aren't that long. So you're going to take 5-10 minutes a day to read them. Maybe take some extra time to meditate and think on them. But it shouldn't take you long to read a chapter. But you need to read a version that speaks to you. I grew up with the King James Version, and I'm going to be honest, the King James Version did not speak to me. I did not want to read it. When I did try to read it, all the these and those and thous, I checked out of the whole Shakespearean language thing. But when I found the English Standard Version, I was like, okay, now this makes sense. So now I get it. Now I don't mind doing a chapter or more a day because I can understand it, I can read it, I can process it. I couldn't do that with the King James Version. So download the Bible app, get the version you want, and then begin to read. A lot of people will tell you, most people will tell you not to start with Genesis. It is the first book of 66. Start with Genesis. It says in the beginning. Don't we want to start at the beginning? Well, no, we don't. A lot of people will tell you to start with the Gospels, which is the beginning of the New Testament. But most people won't tell you to start with Matthew, who is the beginning of the New Testament. Most people won't tell you to start with Matthew or Luke. And those are the two that start with the Nativity, the Christmas story, Jesus in the manger. We don't want to start there either. A lot of people will tell you to start with John. I personally wouldn't tell you to start with John because John starts a little heady. Jesus is the Word of God, and the Word was with God since the beginning. Yeah, Jesus was there with God when he created the world before creation. That's what he's saying. So if you can get into that whole God, Jesus is the Word, and the Word was with God. If you can get into that, then start with John. Me, I would tell you to start with Mark, because Mark, number one, doesn't do all that nativity, Jesus in manger, Mary and Joseph, and all that. No, Mark gets straight to the point. Chapter 1, hey, John is out in the in the wilderness, proclaiming that Jesus is coming. In chapter 2, Jesus is there. He says to Peter, hey, you're a fisherman. Why don't you come with me and be fishers of men? Okay, that's Mark without my dramatic points. I apologize for Benji. He can be a little much sometimes. But that's what I want you to do. That's your assignment. Download YouVersion, find a version of the Bible that speaks to you, and start reading a chapter a day with either John or with Mark. So go ahead and subscribe and get more stuff that I'm telling you to do. But seriously, it'll help. It really will. So I will talk to you in a few days. Talk to you later.